Welcome back to Inside Politics. Our guest today is Democrat Larry Woods, Republican Bill Phillips, where we've been talking impeachment politics. Before we get into presidential politics, Larry, in two border states around Tennessee, Virginia, that used to have a supermajority legislature, it now has a democratically controlled legislature. Kentucky has a Democratic governor after having a Republican governor. Why is the Democrats capable of being successful in other red states near us, but we're not going anywhere for the Democrats in the state?
It's a tough question for me and my Democrats. I mean, Phil Bredesen was a great candidate. Carl Dean was a great candidate. Neither one came close in the last general elections. So we're pretty pessimistic. On the other hand, you read the census reports about how much the population around Nashville is going to grow in the next 10, 15 years, and the age range of the new people coming in, based on the national stats, Democrats are getting ready to get a huge shot in the arm of voters over the next 15 years. That doesn't help much right now, though.
But Bill, we've heard this waiting for Godot from the Democrats for a long time nationally. That just wait a minute, a couple more cycles, we'll have enough Hispanics or other people that are democratically leaning. We're going to be okay. Is that real, or is that just their real strong hope?
Well, you look at Virginia and you see what happened in this off-year election, which was a bad day for Donald Trump, both in Kentucky and Virginia. But Virginia has a whole lot of career federal employees. They oftentimes are Democrats, but they shift back and forth because they look at issues a little differently than a lot of us. And so that goes back and forth. We're just not quite there yet. We're still a rural thinking and overall, and so we're stuck.
Larry, on the national scene, everybody thought the Republicans had a huge field in 2016 when they had like 16 or 17 candidates. The Democrats got well up over 20. They've gone down to about 17. Now we've got former Mayor Bloomberg in New York coming in. We've got the former
Patrick,
the former governor of Massachusetts. Normally these fields contract, not continue to go back. What's going on? Why do more people want to get in this race? What Democrats don't feel like they have enough choice? Really?
I think it's more the candidates. Used to be, if you wanted to run for a high public office, you had to have the support of your political party. That's no longer true. Now the key is, how much money do you have? How much television, social media can you buy?
Either personal or what you can raise.
Right. Deval Patrick can raise it. Bloomberg's got it. I don't think either one of them are going to scratch, but it's a great ego boost. Say I ran for president.
Bloomberg hasn't announced he's actually going to get in, but he has asked to do the qualifying papers to get the petition going to get on this thing in Tennessee. He appears that Super Tuesday is very important to the fact that he wants to run in Tennessee. Does he think he really has a chance to win in this state, even for the presidential primary?
I think he does believe that. I think he believes he can run enough ads, spend enough billions to make an impact. He's wrong. It's not going to happen for him. But Tennessee is going to be more important than usual. We come only a month after Iowa this year, along with, 10, 12 other states.
But we have to fight California, too, in that field. So there are a lot of reasons for the Democrats not to come here, too.
Come to Tennessee, folks. You get a lot more rational, wonderful people behind you.
In at least two counties.
Bill, is there a front runner anymore in the Democratic race? People thought it was Joe Biden, then suddenly you had the senator from Massachusetts come up, and suddenly she looked like Elizabeth Warren was going to be the person. She seems to have stalled mostly, I think, over problems with her health care plan. Is this getting to be more and more of a toss-up race, and nobody knows what's going to happen?
Well, I think it's very interesting that the mayor of I just lost the city, who is inching up.
Oh, Mayor Buttigieg.
Yeah,
Mayor Pete.
He's now leading. He's now leading in Iowa in the latest polls.
And in Iowa, and he's just sort of inching up. And it's a very interesting mix of support that he has, and it'll be interesting to see if he's going to turn the apple cart over.
For a year now, I've been predicting Elizabeth Warren's going to win for the Democrats to win the nomination. I think she made a terrific mistake announcing a multi-trillion-dollar health plan that really
but she's got lots of plans. Plans are what she's all about.
I know, but
maybe too specific.
The most expensive idea any candidate's ever pronounced in the history of campaigns is not the way to win an election.
Bill, is Joe Biden being hurt by the fact that he's constantly being brought up in this impeachment probe, although nobody said anything wrong about him or even about his son necessarily, at least no proof that's been put out. Is he sort of getting worn and torn up about that, or is he just fading because he just hasn't run a very good campaign?
Well, you know, his history is that he starts off and people have high hopes and then he starts fading. So I think a lot of it is the Joe Biden track record of, well, I'm the man, but you got to just let me have it because I can't quite get there on my own. It doesn't help him to have all this sideshow going on, but nobody has really come up with anything that he or his son actually did that was illegal.
And Larry, Biden survives because of South Carolina probably to get to Super Tuesday. Is that when we're going to really pare down the field? Because there's an awful lot of states voting that day.
We're going to pare down the field when one or two Democratic candidates finish first and second in Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, the first three voting places. And the problem's going to be, instead of one and two people monopolizing that, I think we're going to have 4 or 5 place high in those three, and therefore still have a mess on our hands.
Impeachment occurs in the House. The Senate acquits the president. What's the backlash? Is it going to take the chances the Democrats have at all of picking up the presidency and maybe even the chances to pick up the Senate?
The impeachment process will be a great revival tent meeting for Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, any other liberal progressive Democrat, because they're going to rip him verbally to shreds and therefore motivate their voting bloc.
Larry Woods, thank you for joining us. Bill Phillips, thank you as well. I'm sure we'll have you guys back to talk about this as 2020 unfolds. And thank you for joining us this week on Inside Politics. Hope you're back here again for a future show. If you can't get enough politics in the meantime, go to the News Channel 5 website. You'll find my Capitol View commentary there. There's new commentary posted every Friday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back here next time. Goodbye.